In the American Southwest, particularly in states like Arizona and New Mexico, wild hogs have become a growing nightmare for both residents and farmers. These animals reproduce at an astonishing rate, tearing through cornfields, raiding orchards, and even attacking livestock. The damage is staggering, with losses in this region alone topping $30 million every year. That's why seasoned hunters like Max and John have stepped in to confront the problem head-on. But the real question remains, can they endure the high-stakes moments of tension and succeed in their mission? If you enjoy stories like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you never miss what comes next. On the edge of the forest near Max's home lay a field where wild boars often wandered in search of food. Anticipating their next raid, Max arrived early and set up an ambush. With his pack of trained hunting dogs by his side, it didn't take long to pick up the fresh tracks of the intruders. Then, out of the brush, a massive boar burst forth, its eyes burning with rage. Max didn't flinch. He raised his rifle, took aim, and fired. The shot landed true, dropping the beast in the middle of the field. With that single moment, the hunt had officially begun. Other targets soon appeared nearby, and none stood a chance. Max pressed deeper into the forest, where thick brush and uneven ground gave the boars their best cover. As he expected, it wasn't just one, it was an entire herd. To stay efficient, Max relied on a smart strategy. Take out the stragglers first, then close in on the main group. Each well-placed shot dropped another boar to the forest floor. Some tried to break away into chaos, but Max tracked their escape routes with precision.
Quick!
One by one, he cut them down, the crack of gunfire echoing through the trees. Meanwhile, in the hills of the southwest, John and his crew faced a different kind of challenge. The wild boars there were faster and far more cunning, slipping beneath the tree canopy and making them difficult to track. From a high vantage point, John set up a long-range ambush. The moment the herd exposed itself, he pulled the trigger. The leader dropped instantly, throwing the rest into chaos. John's teammates, already in position, opened fire from every angle, cutting down the survivors. Yet fresh tracks revealed the herd wasn't completely wiped out. The chase pressed on. At one critical moment, John spotted a boar moving slowly toward a clearing. Steadying his aim, he waited for the perfect shot. Then boom. A single bullet brought the animal down clean, leaving no chance for escape. On the other side, John's crew encountered a massive boar. Even from a long distance, they held the target steady in their sights. With a series of carefully placed shots, the beast finally went down. Both Max and John had done their part, but the hunt was far from over. The chase shifted to a rugged mountain range about 2 kilometers from the village, believed to be the herd's last stronghold. This time, I was among the hunters. I wasn't a trained marksman or a seasoned professional, but I had learned to handle a rifle, out of necessity, to protect my crops and stand alongside the farmers of the region. My best friend Robert and I were assigned to a team tasked with hunting wild boars in the mountains. We climbed along a steep trail, pausing now and then to check for tracks. The crisp mountain air hit my face, and beneath it all, a surge of excitement I couldn't quite explain kept building inside me. Deeper into the forest, the silence broke with a rustle and a low, threatening growl. I gripped my rifle tight. From the brush, a boar emerged, unaware of our presence. Robert gave a quick signal, "Take the shot." I squeezed the trigger, and the animal dropped instantly. We marked the spot and pushed forward, knowing the hunt was far from finished. Suddenly, a massive boar burst into view. I signaled for Robert to be ready. Without a second hesitation, he pulled the trigger, and the shot thundered through the forest. The animal tumbled into the brush. We didn't feel joy in the kill, but we knew it was the most effective way to control the infestation and protect the fields. By noon, we were resting near a dirt road when a call came over the radio. Another team member warned that a large boar was heading straight toward our position. We jumped to our feet and waited in silence. Moments later, a dark silhouette emerged from the thicket. As it crossed the road, I opened fire. The beast collapsed, and Robert laughed, giving me a firm slap on the shoulder. Knowing more boars might come through, we set up an ambush. Before long, a herd appeared. We opened fire, dropping several, but a few managed to break away toward the mountains, where another team was already lying in wait. By late afternoon, we started making our way back to the village. Along the trail, Robert spotted a huge boar crashing through the brush, likely one that had split from the herd. He raised his rifle and fired. The animal dropped instantly. If we hadn't taken it down, Robert said, there's no telling how much damage it could have caused to our crops. Near the edge of the farm, we managed to bring down one more boar before calling it a day. By late afternoon, we returned with a full haul from it. The meat was divided among the families in the community, providing food for everyone. Around here, it's common to process the harvest into bacon, sausages, and salami. For our village, it isn't just tradition, it's a vital source of sustenance. Hunting wild hogs in the American Southwest isn't just about the thrill of the chase. It's about protecting farmlands, securing food for families, and preserving a balance between people and nature. Every shot fired carries responsibility, reminding us that ethical hunting plays a vital role in conservation. As long as these invasive animals continue to threaten our crops, livestock, and livelihoods, hunters like Max, John, and countless farmers will remain on the front lines. The fight is far from over, and the next challenge could be even greater. Stick around for our upcoming videos to see how this battle unfolds. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss what's next. Wild boars are tearing through the Turkish countryside, leaving devastation in their wake. Fields are trampled flat, farms are destroyed overnight, and the financial toll reaches into the millions. But even in the face of this destruction, Turkish farmers refuse to give in. With grit and determination, they're fighting back to reclaim their land and their livelihoods. The crisis has now escalated beyond the farmlands. In an alarming twist, wild boars have pushed into Turkey's cities, wreaking havoc in places like Istanbul and Ankara. What was once a rural problem has become an urban nightmare. Trash bins overturned, public parks ripped apart, and terrified pedestrians forced to dodge charging animals in the streets. If you want to see more incredible stories like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel and join us for the next adventure. The scale of destruction is overwhelming. More than 10,000 wild boars have been spotted in Turkey's cities, causing millions in property damage and raising serious concerns for public safety. Authorities are racing to contain the crisis, but the boars' explosive breeding rates and uncanny ability to adapt have made them one of the toughest enemies the nation has ever faced. This surge into urban life signals a new and dangerous chapter in Turkey's struggle against the invasive species. With the stakes higher than ever, hunting officials have rolled out aggressive new measures. Farmers, hunters, and wildlife agencies are now joining forces, preparing for year-round hunts in an effort to protect both the land and the people from the relentless advance of these destructive animals. This isn't a pastime, it's a mission to safeguard nearly 40% of Turkey's agricultural production and the livelihoods of over 2 million rural families. But hunting wild boars is far from simple. The Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry enforces strict regulations, and by 2024, more than 50,000 licensed hunters are required to complete a rigorous 40-hour program covering firearm safety, animal behavior, and hunting ethics. Even with training, the dangers remain high. Hunting is limited to certain regions and seasons, with night hunts allowed only when boars are most active, restricted to just 20% of approved land. And out in the field, a single mistake can prove fatal. A full-grown 300-pound boar can charge at 25 miles per hour, turning the hunter into the hunted in seconds. Last spring, while tracking a wild boar near Mugla, I thought I had it pinned down. Out of nowhere, it spun and came charging straight at me with terrifying speed. I barely managed to scramble up a tree, and only escaped because my teammate fired just in time. Not everyone has been so lucky. Just last year, 12 hunters were injured in wild boar attacks across Turkey. To even the playing field, hunters often turn to their dogs. Powerful breeds like the Kangal and Akbash are trained from puppyhood to track, confront, and hold wild boars with remarkable precision. By 2024, experts estimate that dogs will play a role in 60% of all successful hunts. But Turkish law is strict. Dogs can't hunt on their own, and every one of them must carry a GPS tracker for safety. When properly trained and paired with hunters, a single team of dogs can help eliminate up to 50 wild boars in just one season. The impact of these coordinated efforts has been remarkable. In 2024 alone, hunters eliminated more than 150,000 wild boars, preventing an estimated $200 million in agricultural losses. Provinces like Konya and Antalya saw crop damage drop by 25%, marking the largest and most successful wild boar campaign in Turkey's history. For farmers, the change is personal. One family, who has tilled the same land for over 80 years, recalled losing half their harvest, about $15,000 worth of crops, in a single night to a boar raid. Thanks to stricter measures and organized hunts, their livelihood has been restored. Stories like theirs explain why many farmers continue to back hunting as the most practical solution, often pointing out that sterilization programs cost more and still leave time for boars to wreak havoc before population numbers decline. So what about you? In this ongoing battle, do you believe advanced technology or traditional hunting offers the best defense? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and be sure to share this video so more people understand the challenges of facing wild boars. Meanwhile, across the ocean in Madison, Mississippi, disaster struck when a tornado tore through the region. Entire homes were flattened, trees ripped from the ground, roads turned into swamps of mud, and power lines left in ruins. The destruction was already overwhelming, but what came next pushed the community even further: an unexpected surge of wild hogs. At nightfall, thousands of hogs swept into the storm-damaged region, lured by the scent of freshly churned soil and unprotected fields. With fences gone and crops exposed, farmers and hunters were forced to move quickly, blending old-school tactics with modern technology to keep the invasion under control. Some teams relied on high-tech traps outfitted with infrared cameras and motion sensors that sent instant alerts to their smartphones. Once a large enough group entered, the gate slammed shut in seconds. But with cell service crippled by the tornado, many had no choice but to fall back on the basics: fermented corn for bait, sharpened stakes, sturdy ropes, and sheer instinct. Fermented corn, left to sour for several days, produces a powerful stench that can travel nearly 300 feet in the humid air, making it one of the most reliable baits. But setting the traps required patience and precision. Hunters spent days studying hoof prints, rooting marks, and the movement patterns of hogs before deciding on the perfect spot to strike. In Madison, the swampy, mud-soaked ground made the job even tougher. Wooden stakes had to be driven 3 feet deep, or steel frames secured to massive trees, just to hold the trap steady. With cell signals down and technology out of reach, success depended entirely on experience, skill, and relentless focus. One stormy night, under pounding rain and howling wind, the herd showed up earlier than anyone expected, and they came in with fury. The hogs smashed through barriers and charged straight toward the hunters' camp. Chaos erupted in an instant. Flashlights hit the mud, boots slipped on the slick ground, and hunters swung sticks wildly just to hold the beast back. Then, a gunshot cracked through the storm. That night wasn't about trapping hogs, it was about staying alive. Hunting wild boars isn't just about skill with a rifle. It's about responsibility, respect, and survival. Every hunt reminds us that ethical practices, proper training, and teamwork are what protect farmers, communities, and even the hunters themselves. The fight against these invasive animals is far from over, and every lesson learned in the field shapes the future of wildlife management. If you enjoyed this story and want to see more incredible hunts, survival moments, and real lessons from the wild, make sure to subscribe and join us for the next adventure, because the battle is only just beginning. Welcome to Northwoods Pursuit. Our farm sits right in the heart of California's Central Valley, a place known for rich soil and endless rows of crops. But if you think farming out here is all about tractors and irrigation lines, you're missing the real battle. Feral hogs are a nightmare. These aren't the cute pigs from children's books. They're destructive, relentless, and they don't sneak in quietly. One night is all it takes for them to rip apart a whole pasture, leaving behind a muddy wasteland. That's what pushed me and a lot of other farmers around here into learning something we never expected: how to hunt. Real hunting. Early one chilly morning, I checked the drone. Battery full, camera online. As it rose into the sky, we scanned the fields and hills for any signs of movement. The moment we spotted a sounder of hogs, we released the dogs. They exploded into action, tearing through the brush like rockets, the chase already on. I didn't hesitate. As soon as the wild boar came into view, I raised my rifle, took aim and squeezed the trigger. The crack of the shot echoed through the valley. What makes drone-assisted hog hunting so effective is the real-time surveillance. We're able to track every move the herd makes, which helps us plan smarter, faster, and more efficient takedowns. There's a certain thrill to it, a high-stakes mix of technology and instinct. Watching the dogs charge ahead while we guide the operation from above is like nothing else. This method has helped us drastically reduce the hog population in our area, and honestly, it's changed the way we manage our land. Drones have completely changed the game when it comes to hunting wild boars. Not long ago, finding a herd could take hours, sometimes even days, especially in remote areas where the population has gotten out of control. But now, with aerial surveillance and well-trained dogs on the ground, we're able to locate and take down hogs quickly and humanely. It's faster, more efficient, and far less stressful on the animals than older methods. Looking ahead, we believe drone-assisted hunting could become the standard for managing feral hog populations, especially as their numbers keep rising across the country. The combination of high-tech scouting and the raw instinct of working dogs is proving to be one of the most effective and responsible ways to protect farmland and ecosystems from the damage these animals cause. Down in Louisiana, we knew one thing for sure: we couldn't sit around and let the hogs come tearing through our fields anymore. Waiting wasn't an option. These animals were wrecking crops, wrecking livelihoods, and there just weren't enough hours in the day to take them out one by one with a rifle and a pickup truck. So we took it to the skies. A full-scale aerial operation was launched, and a group of us seasoned hunters got the call. We loaded up into helicopters and soared over the open plains. From above, we could see the chaos unfold, hogs scattering in all directions, spooked by the sound of spinning rotors. With our eyes locked and fingers on the trigger, we tracked their movements and took our shots, one after another, doing our part to push back the growing invasion. This approach to hunting turned out to be a game changer. With eyes in the sky and boots or paws on the ground, it didn't take long to zero in on our targets. Every moment was intense, every decision calculated. The combination of drone scouting, ground pursuit, and aerial support gave us a serious edge. Then I saw it, one massive hog breaking from the group. It was bigger than the rest, moving fast but not fast enough. I took a deep breath, lined up the shot, and aimed for the vitals. In that split second, everything went quiet except for the steady rhythm of the chase and the focus locked in my scope. And that's the reality of modern hog control. It's not just about pulling a trigger. It's about protecting what we've built, preserving the land, and hunting with purpose. With every hunt, we are reminded that this isn't just a sport, it's stewardship. Drone-assisted hunting isn't just high-tech, it's responsible, humane, and necessary. As feral hogs continue to spread, it's up to us, farmers, hunters, and landowners, to step up and do our part. So if you're into real stories from the field, cutting-edge gear, and the grit it takes to defend our land, don't miss what's coming next. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next video. Stay sharp, stay safe, and keep hunting smart. This video is for educational and awareness purposes. All scenes follow local laws and ethical hunting guidelines. Hey y'all, welcome back. Deep in the heart of Texas, a war is raging, not between people, but between Texans and one of the most destructive invaders the state has ever faced, feral hogs. With over 2.6 million of these beasts tearing up farmland, wrecking ecosystems, and even damaging roads and property, it's become a full-blown crisis. So what's really fueling this wild pig explosion? Stick around, we're diving into the roots of the problem and what might actually work to stop it. While you're here, don't forget to subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. What would you do if your backyard turned into hog territory? Now here's the deal. Texas isn't just where the most feral hogs live, it's where they thrive. Thanks to the state's mild winters, thick brush cover, and virtually no natural predators, wild pigs have found the perfect home base. Unlike other animals that slow down in the cold, these hogs have everything they need year-round: food, water, and shelter. That means they breed non-stop, and their numbers grow fast. really fast. It's not just a nuisance anymore. It's an environmental and economic threat that's charging full speed ahead. No one feels the impact more than Texas farmers. They're on the front lines, watching their hard work get ripped apart, literally. Feral hogs don't just nibble around the edges. They destroy everything from freshly planted seeds to fully grown crops. The damage is staggering, costing Texas agriculture an estimated $52 million every year. Cornfields take the worst hit, with some areas reporting crop losses of over 50% in a single season. For many farmers, it's not just a nuisance, it's a threat to their livelihoods. The damage feral hogs cause isn't just about dollars, it's about the land itself. These invasive animals are wreaking havoc on Texas' natural ecosystems, pushing out native species by competing for food and destroying vital habitats. Whether it's ripping up forest floors, churning through wetlands, or trampling grasslands, their non-stop rooting behavior leaves a path of destruction that's tough to reverse. What used to be thriving, balanced environments are now under constant assault. In response, more hunters are reaching for an old-school yet highly effective tool, the bow. Bow hunting offers a quiet, controlled way to manage feral hog populations without disturbing nearby wildlife or communities. Unlike firearms, which echo through the hills, bows let hunters move silently through the brush. And unlike toxic baits or traps, bow hunting doesn't risk contaminating the land or harming unintended species. It's a method rooted in tradition, and it just might be part of the modern solution Texas needs. Bow hunting brings a quiet, calculated edge to the fight against feral hogs, but it's not without its challenges. Unlike rifles, which offer power and range, bows demand close proximity, steady hands, and a sharp eye. It's a method that takes real skill and patience, which means it's not always the fastest way to thin out fast-breeding hog populations. While it's great for targeted control and minimal disruption, bow hunting alone can't keep up with the sheer numbers Texas is facing. The reality is there's no silver bullet for this crisis. Feral hogs are smart, adaptable, and multiply at an alarming rate, so fighting them requires a toolbox, not just a single tactic. Combining traditional hunting methods like bows and firearms with modern tools like thermal imaging and drone surveillance gives Texas the best shot at turning the tide. Bow hunting plays a valuable role, especially in sensitive environments, but when it comes to large-scale population control, firearms and tech bring the necessary speed and reach. Managing Texas' feral hog problem isn't just about taking aim, it's about taking responsibility. Ethical hunting, whether with bows, rifles, or high-tech tools, plays a critical role in protecting our land, our wildlife, and our way of life. Every method has its place, but it's the thoughtful, respectful use of these tools that makes the biggest impact. So whether you're a seasoned hunter or just someone who cares about conservation, stick with us. We've got more stories, strategies, and real talk coming your way. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you won't miss the next video. We're just getting started. The wild boar population in Texas is exploding, and biology is to blame. These animals breed at an alarming rate, with a single sow capable of producing up to 20 piglets a year. Left unchecked, their numbers can double annually, fueling a crisis that's already caused millions in damage to farms, ranches, and natural habitats across the state. To push back against this growing threat, Texas has adopted a variety of control efforts, none more popular or uniquely Texan than the Texas Wild Boar Championship. This high-energy event draws over 3,500 hunters from around the country each year and has become a staple of Texas hunting culture, combining serious population control with fierce competition. Wild boars, once native to Europe, have become an invasive nightmare across much of the American South, nowhere more so than in Texas. The Lone Star State is home to an estimated 1.6 million of the country's 2.7 million wild hogs, and their numbers are growing fast. These destructive animals tear up farmland, ravage native ecosystems, and cost the agricultural industry millions each year. As the damage mounts, farmers and landowners are turning to aggressive, creative solutions to fight back. Let's dive into how hunters across the state are stepping up and what this annual event means in the larger war on feral hogs. The Texas Wild Boar Championship isn't just a high-stakes hunting competition. It's a vital tool in the state's fight against a rapidly growing wild hog problem. Held twice a year, the event is split into two strategic hunting seasons: winter, December to February, and summer, June to August, each lasting about 2 weeks. This schedule gives hunters time to prepare, scout terrain, and plan their approach to maximize impact. Depending on the region and severity of infestation, hunters are permitted to take down anywhere from 50 to 150 boars per session. These limits strike a careful balance, aggressive enough to curb population growth, but measured enough to avoid disrupting the surrounding ecosystem. Participation is tightly regulated. Hunters under 18 must hold a valid youth hunting license and meet specific health requirements, including 20/20 vision, corrected or uncorrected, to ensure safety and precision in the field. Wild boars rarely travel alone. They often roam in aggressive herds of 10 to 15, and some of the largest can tip the scales at a massive 450 pounds. Facing animals that size is no joke, which is why many hunters trust the Remington 700, a precision rifle praised for its long-range accuracy, capable of hitting targets from up to 300 yards away. It's the perfect tool for keeping a safe distance while getting the job done efficiently. But it's not just about firepower, skill matters just as much. Every hunter entering the Texas Wild Boar Championship must complete a demanding training program that typically takes 6 to 12 months. The focus? Understanding wild boar behavior, mastering humane hunting practices, and learning how to handle unpredictable encounters in the field. At the end of each season, hunters are required to log their kills, giving wildlife officials valuable data to guide future control efforts. And for the top performer, there's a $10,000 prize on the line, both as a reward and motivation to keep the wild boar crisis in check. The relationship between elephants, hunters, and farmers is tangled in controversy and complexity. These giants, Earth's largest land mammals, are admired for their intelligence, deep family bonds, and emotional depth. But in regions where their habitats overlap with human settlements, admiration can quickly give way to conflict. As elephant populations expand and natural resources shrink, they frequently wander into farmland, destroying crops and threatening livelihoods. For farmers, this isn't just a nuisance, it's a matter of survival. In response, both farmers and hunters have turned to a range of tactics to deter or manage the animals, sometimes resorting to the use of firearms when peaceful methods fall short. Elephants may be majestic, but when they cross into farmland, the damage can be devastating. Each year, they're responsible for up to $2 million in crop losses, ravaging fields of corn, wheat, and fruit in a matter of hours. For farmers, these losses hit hard, threatening both their income and food supply and already vulnerable. The problems don't stop at the farm gate. Elephants often wander onto highways, creating dangerous situations for everyone involved. A collision with a creature that size isn't just damaging, it can be deadly. These encounters have led to tragic outcomes for both drivers and elephants, underscoring the urgent need for better solutions to manage human-elephant interactions. In an effort to protect their land and loved ones, some farmers resort to hunting elephants, a fast, though highly controversial, method of population control. Firearms offer a quick way to stop immediate threats, potentially preventing massive crop loss or dangerous encounters. But this tactic comes at a moral cost. Elephants are deeply intelligent, emotionally aware creatures, and the idea of killing them sparks strong backlash from animal welfare advocates and the public alike. Beyond the ethical concerns, firing guns in rural or semi-populated areas brings serious risks. Stray bullets can harm livestock, wildlife, or even people. Worse, using force can backfire. Threatened elephants often respond with heightened aggression, fueling a cycle of violence that's hard to break. In the end, while guns might solve the problem today, they don't lay the groundwork for lasting peace. Real, long-term solutions must tackle the root causes of the human-elephant conflict. Finding the balance between human safety and humane treatment of elephants is no easy task. Any real solution has to protect both people and animals, and that means moving beyond quick fixes. The most effective strategies combine smart prevention with long-term coexistence, aiming to reduce conflict without resorting to violence. Building a sustainable relationship with elephants starts with understanding and respect. It's not just about keeping them out of fields. It's about creating space for both communities and wildlife to thrive. Got an idea for a more compassionate, effective way to manage this issue? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your take. In the wilds of South Africa, the sound of gunfire is becoming more common, part of a growing effort to manage rising leopard encounters near human settlements. These elusive predators, known for their strength and stealth, are venturing closer to towns and villages, raising alarm across the country. The South African National Parks Agency reports roughly 150 leopard attacks on people each year, a number that continues to climb. One particularly chilling incident saw 6 leopards descend into Cape Town, triggering widespread panic. The attack left 8 people injured and tragically claimed 1 life, highlighting the urgent need for better strategies to keep both humans and wildlife safe. In the end, whether it's wild boars tearing through Texas farms, elephants clashing with communities, or leopards lurking near homes in South Africa, one truth remains. Responsible hunting isn't just about pulling a trigger. It's about understanding ecosystems, respecting wildlife, and protecting lives. With the right training, ethical practices, and a commitment to balance, hunting can serve as a powerful tool for conservation and coexistence. So if you're passionate about wildlife, curious about how humans and nature can thrive together, or just love a good real-life adventure, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join us in the next video. There's always more to explore, more to learn, and more stories to tell. This video is for educational and awareness purposes. All scenes follow local laws and ethical hunting guidelines.